Hey everyone, how's it going? Pixels here. In today's video, I'm giving you another beginner build on Evil Dead the game. This one is for Annie, and like the previous beginner build, what we will do here is go through breaking down the character and her abilities just for you guys to better understand her, and then we'll go through the skill tree and then what order to spend your skill points. So let's begin. And anyways, first thing we're going to go over is an active ability. So the active ability is the ability you trigger yourself by pressing B, circle, or whatever it is on PC. I can't remember what it is on PC, but hitting where it hurts basically it's a really good and effective method for cleaning crowds of deadites and cleaning up boss units. It gives a nice damage buff there. It has a 15-second duration as well, and it has a 45-second cooldown. So when activated, this ability increases the range damage from Annie and any teammates who are near her. So basically this works well with the classes called hunters. So the hunters are primarily based on range damage. It actually helps her out as well. So you get an extra 30% damage when that's activated, which is huge because range damage is, quite a massive amount of damage on this game compared to melee. Or at least it can be, depending on the weapon and the character using it. But primarily using this against boss units and crowds, it works really well during objectives as well. So bear that in mind when you're playing this character using this. Don't keep spamming it over and over again. There's certain situations where it can really help out, primarily against boss units, and that's when you should be using it. The next one is Howitzer. So this is her base aura. This is something that you don't have to activate yourself or anything. And basically that's just a flat out 25% range damage buff, which works great as well with hunters. She doesn't work well with everyone in the game. She doesn't work that well with warriors. She can because of her balance bar aura, which you'll unlock later on. But primarily she works great with hunters. The next one is Haymaker. Like I said, that's the balance bar damage aura that she gets, so you'll unlock that at level 15, I believe, which is again a 15% balance bar damage buff. That actually used to be more. She did get nerfed, but however, it is still an effective perk. Like I said, this one does work well with warriors and for herself, obviously, and spamming finishes and conserving ammo and all that good stuff. And the last one is Slugger. So balance bar damage to elite units is 15%, and then balance bar damage to boss units is 60%. Pretty crazy because these used to be higher numbers as well. The balance bar damage to boss units actually used to be 100%. Actually, I think that was a typo on their behalf in the skill section for Annie. But yeah, so she's a pretty straightforward character. She buffs up range, she buffs up balance bar damage. You might be thinking, oh, that works out really well, honestly, because you do get a little bit of a melee buff and then you get the range buff. Personally, I still like Leader Ash a bit more. However, a lot of people are very fond of Annie because of how fast she can stun possessed units, and she's not a terrible character to play. She can be one of the best leaders to play in the game. So okay, so now we're just going to jump in and tell you guys how to spend your skill points on Annie on this game. So the first one, obviously, you've got to put a point into Great Influence so you can start off the skill tree. And then the same thing that we did with Leader Ash, we're going to put a point into Artful Dodger, and we're going to put 1 point in Industrial Strength there. And we're going to put 1 point into the Cardio. And we're going to come down here, we're going to put the extra point into Artful Dodger. Again, you want to get those 4 dodges. 10% health's more than enough with her for now. And 5% cardio is going to help you, obviously run around, getting the loot, and not worrying about your stamina so much. So then we're just going to go over here. We're going to max out Deep Pockets ammo. So what that is, obviously carrying an extra 15 ammo. So when you're playing Annie, pick up as much ammo as possible. You can be a little pack rat for you and your hunters on the team. Hunters will be using primarily long gun ammo. So Annie, you have the freedom to kind of use like either handgun or special weapon ammo. So those are the weapons that you want to be using on Annie. But just try and pay attention to what your hunters are using. Some hunters like to use a blunderbuss, which will be special weapon ammo. So then you have the freedom to use a long gun ammo weapon. Unfortunately, you can't communicate with people as very easily with that if you're not on, obviously, voice comms. However, it would be nice if they added something in the game where we're able to determine what weapon or what ammo that person's using just by a little icon next to their name. However, like I said, just make sure you pick up all 3 ammo types as you're looting, because she'll be able to carry quite a lot for her and her team. Okay, so once we're done leveling up Deep Pockets ammo, we're going to come down here. We're going to buff up her stopping power, which is balance bar damage on her range weapons there. And then we're going to put 2 points into Seeing Stars for her melee attacks. And then we're going to come up here, and then we're just going to buff up hollow points to 25%. You know, maxing out your range damage on this character can be very, very effective, especially combined with her aura abilities. And of course, balance bar damage on both weapons as well, being ranged or melee. That again goes with her aura abilities very nicely. And it's going to help her obviously drain balance bars a lot faster, and you know, to perform finishes, and that way you can conserve your ammunition. You know, you're not constantly shooting in the game. You will be able to actually do some finishes and to save your ammunition that way. And we're going to come up here, we're going to put 1 point into there, deep pockets matchsticks. We're going to go for light therapy, 1 point into fear no evil, and then we're going to put 3 points into tougher than hell. And then you've got 4 points left to spend, which is very nice. What I will say is go for headshot damage, because that's an extra 15%. So if you can hit a headshot on any evil unit in the game, again, you're going to be stacking a lot of range damage on that, which can work out great, especially against possessed units and boss units. So if you know, I know you're new to the game, you might find it quite difficult to hit a headshot. Don't worry, I still find it difficult to hit a headshot, especially playing on controller, because of the aim assist is terrible on controller. But on PC, obviously, you'll find it a lot easier to hit headshots. So just like I said, headshot damage works really good on this character. And then we're going to come up here, and then we're going to put 1 point into Great Influence at 10 meters. You know, she is a ranged character, so you might find that, you know, having a longer range might actually help her, because she's not going to be next to her teammates so much. But, you know, for me, the way I play her, I don't find that an issue. So I think 10 meters is more than enough, especially when you activate her ability as well. You're kind of going to be sort of close quarters against boss units and stuff, and then your teammates are going to get all the benefits from your aura that way as well. Yeah, 10 meters is more than enough for me, honestly. You know, later down the line, once you get a prestige, you can obviously buff this up to 15 meters. Okay, so let's tell you guys how to spend the pink fuck on Annie. So again, stamina, prioritizing stamina, always very key playing any character in the game. You want to get the maximum amount of dodges, and like I said, with Awful Dodger 2 and 2, you know, if you get that at 1 point, you'll have 3 dodges. If you have 2 and 2 on that, so you spend 2 points on that, you will get 4 dodges. So again, that's very overkill for leader, and you should be able to survive no problem using that. So yeah, make sure that you're leveling up your stamina with your pink fuck upgrades there as a priority. The next one is going to be ranged. Obviously, she's a range focused character, so I like to buff up her range there. And then from ranged, we want to go for melee damage, primarily just to help with the finishes and conserving ammo there. I know that I don't have her health maxed out in the skill tree. However, because she has 4 dodges and tougher than hell, I think that's more than enough, and she's more of a range focused character. You won't be so much in combat like you would with Leader Ash or Lord Arthur, you know. So for me, like I said, going for ranged and then melee damage, and then going for health after that, or fear, it's totally up to you. But for me, if you're new to the game, I would recommend going for health, so you have extra health there, and then going for fear last, and then obviously shield as just, you know, something that you should never really level up unless you've got excessive pink fuck to spend. So yeah, just to recap the pink fuck real quick, you want to go stamina, ranged, melee, then health, and then fear, and then shield last. That'll work out great for this character. Okay, so I'm going to go over some weapons that you should look out for in Annie. So for melee weapons, anything that you want to use, to be honest, you know, anything that has like a high balance bar, like a sledgehammer. A pipe has decent balance bar damage. It's not the greatest, but, you know, sledgehammer, a staff, you know, anything, or a mace, you know, something that hits hard. It's a blunt weapon. You know, baseball bat's not the greatest weapon in the game, but something that's going to drain balance bars relatively fast, because that's going to work out great with her abilities, having extra balance bar damage, obviously. And then for range, we're going to prioritize looking for a revolver here. Revolver's not a be-all end-all for her, but like I said, hunters will tend to use long gun ammo or special weapon ammo weapons. You won't come across many hunters that are actually using handgun ammo weapons, unless it's like maybe it's an SMG or something. But again, that'll be their fault for using those weapons, because I think they'll be underperforming using that type of thing. You know, even Amanda has a pistol mastery, and if you're new to the game, you might think, oh, that's great, a pistol mastery. The pistol is not a great weapon in the game, honestly. It'll burn through a lot of ammo, whereas the revolver, you know, it hits slow and it hits hard, and you won't be using a lot of ammo with that. So just bear that in mind when you're playing Annie. you should always be looking out to use something like a revolver and picking up all the other weapon ammo that you see on the ground to drop for your hunters later on down the line. You know, even using something like a blunderbuss, it's not the greatest weapon in the game for Annie, but again, you're not going to be using up the ammo that would be effective more on a hunter. But like I said, revolver, if you can get your hands on one of those, it's a beauty for this character. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys, for my beginner build on Annie. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and all the new players are enjoying the game. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions about the build or the character. I'll be happy to get back to you on that. But yeah, be sure to like the video, hit that sub button if you're new to the channel. I do a lot of Evil Dead content. I stream on this channel as well, so you don't have to go anywhere else for Evil Dead content. And thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixels, you my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.